welcome to the Cultivated Life podcast. We are so glad to see you, and I'm really glad to have Tramain Rayford. We're going to hear from him and talk to him about his life and ministry and all that he's doing. But first, let me encourage you, hit all the good buttons. The bell, the thumbs up, the comment, what's some more? Subscribe, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Just
heart. There's the heart.
Yeah, the heart. Yeah, throw me some heart. Yeah, just any good button you find on your phone or your laptop, just hit that button. Real quick, Pastor Sharon and I have a series of books out on wisdom, words, wealth, work, and wickedness. This is taking every verse in the book of Proverbs and dropping it into one of those categories. And it's just a great little devotional book on that. The Saved Mind is a book that Sharon wrote from a message that she spoke, and this also has a 14-day devotional. Wow. The Spirit-Led Life, embracing the leadership of the Holy Spirit in your life and what that looks like and what that feels like. Building Character, developing the lost art of character. We have a serious issue with character and integrity in the world today. Yeah. Fivefold Frustration. This is a great ministry book, Finding Your Place, Mastering the Waves. This is a leadership book as well as kind of navigating change in life, and then a book on the kingdom, on earth as it is in heaven. So that's what's going on with that stack of books right there. But I am really glad to have Tremain with us, and we've been connected. Are we at 10 years yet?
Pretty close.
Yeah. 7,
8 maybe.
Okay.
It's been a while.
So how long have you and Savannah been together? Married? Shouldn't have asked you that.
Hard question. No. 2018. So I'm not great at math, but
so 7 years, and I met you right before that.
Yep.
So probably 8 years.
Yep.
Yeah. So you recently posted on social media about a miracle that took place in your life.
Certainly.
And I want you to tell that, but before you do, give us the thumbnail of who is Tramain Rayford.
Oof. Tramain Rayford, now or past?
Yeah, right now.
Right now, Tramain Rayford.
Who are you? What you doing? Yeah.
I do a lot.
Your favorite food? No. What?
My wife has me doing everything right now, but I'm Tramain Rayford, the CEO and founder of the Program Inc. The Program Inc. is a nonprofit organization for young men in absent father homes, teaching them life skills and social skills and how to deal effectively with the demands of everyday life. So we teach kids how to tie ties, change tires, budget, manage money, things of that nature.
Yeah. So many guys don't have that. We'll talk more about that later.
Certainly.
But so many young boys don't have that in their life. And, it's a crisis in the world, but primarily in America.
Yep.
And so you have just tackled that, and it's a tackle. And sometimes you get tackled back. Right?
That is so true.
So tell us about the miracle that happened in your life that really was a game changer for you, that really seems like set your life on course.
Yeah. So pre this event, I was a kid. I was arrogant. I was a football star or wrestling star. I was very good at sports, so I had this ego that, my head couldn't fit in the rooms, right?
Okay.
I was that kid, you can't tell me what to do. I'm this, I'm that. And this particular night, went out partying and doing things I shouldn't have been doing, really, and went to a party, and the cops came. And I ran to the balcony. It's January 14th, 2000. And
so
it's cold
24
outside.
years ago.
Yeah.
25 years ago, yeah.
Yep, 25 years ago. And when I ran to the balcony, almost everybody in the party ran to the balcony as well. I went there to hide because I'm like, it's January. No cop is going to look. We're on the second story, 2.5 stories up. No cop's going to look outside. So I'm going to hide here. Went and hid, and other people hid as well. And me and another gentleman went overboard. 2.5 stories. I landed on my feet, but my left frontal lobe hit my knee, and I was out.
So you fell off the balcony 2.5 stories.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
2.5 stories.
They say it's not the fall that hurts; it's the sudden stop. Sorry about that. We shouldn't be making jokes about that.
I mean, we can make jokes. I'm here, so I can laugh at that one.
But the fall was fine.
Oh,
it was that
goodness.
sudden stop.
It was that sudden stop, man.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to behave today.
No. I had one guy mention to me. He said, "That must have been one heck of a party." I was like,
yeah. So your head
"Yep,
hit your knee.
yep," and my head began to swell. So
Oh.
my brain began to swell, and my head. Some people say it was, like a watermelon, but it was swelling so fast that the paramedics called me a goner there on the spot. They said, "There's no way this kid's going to make it."
Wow. And so 2020, how old would you have been?
17.
17. Wow.
Yep. It's 2 months.
I mean,
before
like when you think you got the world by the tail, like you said, you got
Yeah.
everything going your way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. God was like, I got an ace for you, and he wrecked my plans, in a good way. I went to the hospital. They had to drill a hole in my head to relieve the pressure. So I still have a scar right here where they relieved the pressure. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Had to relearn how to walk, talk.
So at 17, 18 years old, you're literally having to relearn life.
Everything.
Wow.
When I woke up, I thought it was 1996. They asked me what day it was, and I was like, "Oh, September 1996." And then I seen my brother's look on his face, and I was like, "Something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
Let me do."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, it's Y2K. It's Y2K. I'm
Wow.
okay, guys." But yeah, my memory, even to this day, my memory isn't so sharp. But it took lots and lots of work for me to get out of the hospital and to go through therapy. Every single therapy you can think of, I had to endure to get me out. And God had it was orchestrated by him, because that was the event that brought my father back into my life.
Really?
Yep.
So talk about that. So your father wasn't in your life.
Nope.
So that connects to the Program Inc.
Yep.
So that is one of the keys to doing what you do today.
Yep, absolutely.
So that brought your father back into your life. How did that happen?
Woke up and he was there, and I recognized him, but I was like,
What are you doing here?
Who's that? Like, I know everybody else in here.
Wow.
Who's that? She's like, "That's your dad."
So how long was he out of your life? Your whole life?
I recall seeing him 3 times before that event.
In your entire life?
My
The whole
entire
17 years?
Yeah.
You saw him 3 times?
Yep.
And then that day?
That day.
Wow.
Yep. And when I did get out of the hospital, I wrote him a letter, and I said, and my mom still has the letter. I said, "I'm not mad at you for not being around. I'm not upset. I don't have any grudges towards you or anything." I said, "But now that you are here, I need you to teach me how to change a tire." This is before the programming even came into.
But you had no idea.
I need to teach you how to change a tire. I need to teach me how to do this.
Show me how to be a man.
I wrote him a
Oh,
letter.
my goodness. I bet that pierced his heart.
Yeah, and he did. He was like, "All right,
Really?
I'm changing tire. You know the difference between disc and drum brakes? No? Come on, I'm going to show you. You know what a caliper is? Come on, you're about to find out."
Wow.
And he did,
You just ask.
I just
Most
asked.
boys don't have to ask.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not most boys.
Yeah.
Some boys don't have to ask.
Yeah.
Nowadays, most boys.
You got to find them to ask.
Wow.
So I asked, and he did. He showed me, how to do those things. Him and my mother ended up getting married 4 years later.
Oh,
and,
my
And they
goodness.
both live happily in Missouri right now. So
Not misery. Not misery. I just want to clarify, just in case mom and dad watch. They're not happy in misery. They're happy in Missouri.
Yes,
The state of Missouri.
yes.
Okay, we just need to clarify, not the state of misery.
Yeah. It depends on who's cooking that night.
So your mom and dad weren't together your whole life.
Nope.
You have the accident.
Yep.
He comes back into your life, and 4 years later, they get married.
Yep. Wow.
It's
huh?
like, how can you deny the hand of God in
Oh,
the
yeah.
midst of tragedy and in the midst
yeah.
of heartache?
Yeah. And I was a completely different person when I came out of the coma.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard testimonies from other people saying, before you went, we didn't like you.
Wow.
We were just friends with you because you were popular and this and that. And now that you came out, you have compassion. You're a nice kid to be around. You care about others. Before, you didn't care. It was all about you. But now we see that you're a different person. You know,
What a testimony.
yeah, it's the hand of God, man.
Yeah. So when you come out of that, did that draw your heart back to God or back to the church, or
Yeah,
you always went to church, right?
Yeah, always went to church.
Your family's been involved in ministry for
forever.
Yeah.
And I always went to church, but my heart, the relationship wasn't always there.
Yeah.
You know,
Which happens a lot in youth.
Yeah.
Happens, you get saved at 7, you backslide at 8.
Yeah.
Right? You keep going, but you're not really showing up in your heart until you have an awakening. And sometimes that happens at 12 or 15 or 35. Yours was at 17.
Yep.
You had this awakening that kind of made you think a little differently about things.
Yeah, it did. And
wow.
It brought me back to him and developing a true relationship.
Yeah.
That excluded my family, excluded my mother, excluded my grandfather that was a pastor, or people that I knew. It was just me and him. Because so many nights it was just me and him. All my friends, not all my friends, but majority of my friends, they left.
Of course they did.
I was a kid that was doing drugs. I was a kid that was drinking and partying.
Fooling around, yeah.
So when I stopped doing those things, who do I have to kick it with?
Yeah.
Nobody.
The whole prodigal son idea, right? They're all my friends as long as I'm in the game with them.
Yep.
But the moment I'm not in the game with them, I land in the pig's pen.
Yep.
Where's all my friends now?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the prodigal son was the first name that the programming was going to be called.
Really?
It was going to be called the prodigal son.
You were going to call it the prodigal son.
The prodigal sons. That's what I was going to call it.
I like the programming better.
that was all God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So then what happens then? So you move forward in life, you get married, you have your first child.
Yep.
That ends in some rough times.
Yeah, certainly.
So when you went through that divorce, what was happening in your spirit and your emotions being separated from your daughter? Because there's a lot of people that will watch this or see this and they'll identify with one or two pieces of this, and there's probably a few that's been through a divorce.
Oh my goodness.
And separated from their children in one way or another. How did you navigate that?
Well, God gave me comfort before it truly happened. Right? God came to me and he spoke to me. He said, something's going to happen to you. It is going to hurt.
Really?
It's going to tear you up. But it's going to develop your gift. I'm getting chills right now.
Wow.
He
so
said
the Holy Spirit is giving you kind of a heads up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I knew it was coming, but I didn't know what it was, right? I knew something was coming. I'm like, okay, since it's our heightened praying that God allows me to endure through whatever's going to happen. And then it happened, and it was absolutely, though I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. You know, from I felt like one of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. That's what I felt like. Yeah. And God used that analogy, and he said, you're not in there alone. I'm in there with you. No matter how high they turn the fire up, no matter whatever's going around it, I'm in there with you. You are okay. And that was the thing that I held on to get out of that. It was, if I told my true story, but I'm thinking a book is in the future. Yeah. But if I told everything that happened, you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So God is literally giving you the heads up so that when you go through it, it's like it's a surprise, but it's not a surprise.
Yep. Because I know.
How it all happened was the surprise.
Yes.
Not the fact that you're going to go through something.
Yep. And he always refreshed me with Romans 8:18. He said, for I reckon that the struggles of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be received in us.
So, just break that down.
You got a book for us?
No. I'm just, I just really, I want you to lean into that verse there because you ran through that pretty quick.
Yeah, because I rehearsed. I have it.
First, there's a struggle.
I have it tattooed on me.
Really?
Yeah. Because
first there's a struggle.
Yeah.
And then there's glory.
Yes, at the end of all of it.
See, this is a thing I think people don't understand about becoming a disciple of Christ, is they only get their focus on glory.
Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
They only
Yeah.
get their ideas on the good part. Because when we sell Christianity, and I hate to use that
yes.
term, but when we sell Christianity, it's love, joy, and peace.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is
Yeah.
fantastic. And then somebody gets saved, and it's like they get hit in the face with
Yep.
falling off of, a balcony 2.5 stories or going through a
divorce.
divorce. And they're like, I didn't sign up for this.
Nobody told me.
They only had their eye on the glory,
Yep.
but not understanding that the path to the glory
Yep.
is the struggle.
Yep.
It's the hardship. It's the
Yep.
difficulty. It's
Yeah.
staying faithful when you don't feel like it.
Yep.
Showing up when you don't want to.
And for me, that's where God developed the gift.
Yeah.
It's through that valley of going through all that struggle and all that hardship that I had to endure. I had to endure. There was no way to get out of it.
Yeah.
I had to go through
No options.
none.
Yep.
So
Wow.
it was either that and develop the gift that God had waiting for me, and I believe that was the programming.
That is amazing. So when you talk about gift, I know you're talking about the Program Inc.
Yeah.
What would you say if you looked at the gifts of the Spirit? What would you say your gift is? Because I think I've identified a few, and if you want me to, I'll throw them at you and see
Throw
if it
'em at
sticks.
me.
Like spaghetti, throwing it in the wall, see if it's done. Years ago, a babysitter was taking care of our boys, and we came home, and they said, look what we learned. When your spaghetti's done, you throw it on the wall, and it won't stick or something. I don't remember the plan, but it's something about throwing spaghetti on the wall. Probably coming out of your accident, you probably had a gift of mercy. Going in,
Yeah.
no mercy. Coming out,
Yep.
you had mercy.
Yeah.
Going in, no compassion.
None.
Coming out,
None.
compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the divorce? What do you think got developed in that?
I think that's probably where your courage and your understanding that I can do this, even though it's really hard, which is to me is courage.
Yeah.
But I also think that's where leadership showed up.
This is turning into the Dr. Phil show.
Except I've got hair. Sorry, Dr. Phil. Sorry for your pain over there, buddy boy. He won't watch this, I hope. I think leadership is expressed publicly, but developed privately.
Yeah.
And I think probably in those moments, because you have to learn to lead yourself before you can lead anybody else. And I think going through that divorce, you had to learn to lead yourself.
Oof. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's probably that compassion and mercy piece probably happened earlier, and then probably your leadership and your courage developed through the divorce.
Yeah, certainly.
And now you're living by yourself.
Yep.
Your daughter, your ex down the street.
Yep.
I mean, like literally not far.
Yeah, literally. I rode my bike over there.
Yeah.
Not far at all.
And so you're living alone, and then how do you meet Savannah?
The program got developed, and one of Savannah's girls I went to school with, and I seen her on.
So Savannah had a ministry called Covered.
Yes.
So Savannah used to be Heinlein.
Yep.
Had the ministry called Covered. I need to get her in here.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna have Sharon and her get in here because they'd have fun.
Oh yeah, they would.
They'd have me and Savannah would be too serious. I mean,
Savannah is
because she's all business.
Yeah.
So she was running Covered, which was a ministry
Oh, my goodness.
that served women in the sex trafficking industry.
Yep.
And so you were starting the Program Inc.
Yep.
And then a friend connected you guys.
Yep. Connected us, and she fell in love at first sight, and that was.
Come on, somebody. That's what I'm talking about.
We messaged back and forth, and our first conversation lasted 6 hours.
Wow.
I sat on the floor like you're in 5th grade. I sat on the floor. My phone was plugged into the wall, and I sat there for 6 hours and talked to her.
Oh my!
And I hung up the phone, and I was upset because I was like, I just got out of divorce a couple years ago. This is not what I want, but she is amazing.
You didn't know if you were ready.
Right. Right.
Am I ready? Because Sharon hates it when I use this because it's kind of stupid and it's definitely Kentucky. But if a cat jumps on a hot stove, the next time it won't jump on a cold stove. Right.
So
All
true.
stoves are bad now.
Right. All of them.
So you have a marriage that doesn't go right, like you anticipated, and now all marriage is a little bit like, I'm not going to do that again.
No thanks.
And then God is literally just setting you up.
Yep, he did.
Wow.
And he got me. He got me. And from that point on, it was like, and I remember this phrase that she told me because we were talking and she was like, I'm kind of busy right now with covered. She's like, I think we need to back off. And this was like September, October. She said, I'm busy until January. So
she put you on hold.
Let's get a date in January. And I was like, who is this woman? January.
This is so Savannah.
And I was like, I told her, I said, okay, I'll wait. Wow. I'll wait. Just let me know when you're ready. And,
Now just tell me she didn't say, we'll put this in Q1. I can totally
we're going to create an SOP for this. We're going to spreadsheet it out. Figure you out.
Exactly.
She actually, I think the next day she texted me and I was like, are you hello?
Yeah.
What's
going on here? Yeah.
And then she kept texting me and I was like, what are we doing? Are we talking now again? And she was like, yeah, I think, we need to move forward with this. And I think after that we met.
Wow.
We met
so if you guys met in the fall, when did you get married?
We got married 6 months later. We got married in March. Yeah. April.
Yeah.
I meant to say April.
Yeah. That mic made it sound like March. It's a bad mic. Yeah. That mic does that all the time. It makes April sound like March all the time. Yep. So you guys got married in 2017.
We got married in 2019.
2019.
Yep.
Okay. That you met.
Met in 2018.
2018. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So that's about when we connected. So because Savannah was like, you got to meet this guy.
Instantly.
Yeah.
She's like, well, we're going to lunch with my pastor. I was like, huh? Wait, what?
Well,
what's
Savannah
going on?
was like a daughter to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we met her when she was waiting tables at Applebee's.
Wow.
And then her and Sharon just connected.
Yeah.
And Sharon just, and then of course I met her, and then it's like, what in the world is, she's just been like a part of our family ever since we met her, which would have been probably in 15 or maybe even 14.
Wow. Me and Savannah crossed paths at that Applebee's.
Really?
I sat in her section. This was like 2000 and this was a while ago. We matched up the dates and we figured out. And I was like, yeah, the section right to the right and this and that. She was like, that was my section.
Oh my
and I was
goodness.
Like, what? So we crossed paths in that Applebee's because I used to live on the east side. And yeah. So it's like, had I been right back then.
It was a teaser.
It was.
It was like a teaser moment with God. He's like, I'm just going to put these guys in the same room and see what happens.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you guys got married in
April.
2019. April. Oh. So that wasn't a trick question. Sorry about that. But both of you were already running in ministry.
Yep.
So it wasn't like you weren't doing anything and she was in ministry, or she was just sitting by this wayside and you were doing ministry. Yep. You guys were running full steam ahead in ministry.
Yep.
You were already in the Program Inc. She was doing covered.
Yep.
So how did all that happen? How did all that come together?
Oof. That was years.
That had to be
making.
Challenging.
Yeah. Years in the making. Us praying about it, asking God, what do you want us to do?
What does God want us to do?
First it was, are we coming under the covered umbrella? Or are we coming to assist? We've even ran some pilot kind of like programming with the mentors and volunteers of the program.
Eat that mic. Pull that mic up close to you.
The mentors and the volunteers of the program coming to their hangouts and working with the boys. And then God just kind of maneuvered us around to where we were going to merge together and have the program and the program for women. Mm-hmm. So we developed that. while Savannah was at Cherry Street Mission Ministries,
Right.
allowing her to focus on that and allowing me to step into that role to kind of facilitate some of the things with Covered International.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So tell us about the programming. So you kind of gave us a little teaser about when it started before you met Savannah, how you were asking your dad these things, these questions. How do you change a tire? How do you be a man? What's man stuff?
Right.
So
right.
then tell us about the programming, what you guys do, and what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because it started off, tell us how it started. Did it start just as kind of guys hanging out?
It started, I was doing youth ministry at my church.
Yeah. Okay.
And I started just picking up the boys and working with the boys, and they started asking me questions. Oh, I wanted to pump gas in the car, but I didn't know what kind of gas to put in the car. My mom asked me, I don't know how to change a tire. Just all these skills that I'm thinking like, hey, I remember asking my dad that.
So as a youth pastor, you were just,
Yep.
It just kind of organically happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And then God was like, I want you to do something for me. And I like to say with all confidence, I was like, no, thank you. I'll take a rain check. It's like, I'll take a mail-in rebate on that. No, thanks.
That's hilarious.
And then God
That's hilarious.
He kept pushing, and it took him probably a year and a half for me to say, all right, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And it was an interview that I was watching with Stephen Furtick and Bishop T.D. Jakes. And Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about how God created everything in progression and rhythms and times, and how
I remember that.
Yes.
He got into this whole thing where he was, I forget the word he was using, but he was
something like that.
Over and over again. Yeah, that was pretty intense.
And God was like, you better fall in rhythm. You better fall in rhythm. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Man.
I'm 100% in.
So it was happening even though you were kind of resisting. It was just happening.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, ready or not, here I come.
It's coming.
Wow.
And God set me up and to watch that interview. And the day after that interview, I called the administrator and I said, I'm ready. Here's the name. Here's everything. Let's go. And I think 30 or 40 days later, we had our nonprofit status and we already had our event and everything ready and all that stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Our Thai event.
So the Thai event was the first big event?
Yep. Thai event. We were at the Frederick Douglass Center and we had about 40 some odd kids.
Oh, wow.
So, and this is where, me believing God, I didn't have the funds.
Yeah.
I just went to my 401k and I took out, I think $12,000. And I was like, I'm just going to buy whatever we need, but I know by the end of this, it's going to come back.
Okay, somebody needs to hear that right there because that is such a powerful step of faith.
Oh,
that's
my goodness.
Courageous beyond courageous.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that back then, but now it's like,
But you know what, when you're younger, so you would have been still in your 20s?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
When I was in my 20s, I didn't think half the stuff I did through.
But
that's how God works.
Yep.
He calls us to do things, and he calls us at a time and a place but somebody is wanting to do something, and you're trying to figure out the safe way to do it. Mm-hmm. And there's never a safe way to do what God's calling you to do.
Yep.
You just gotta step out.
Yep. You either believe him or you don't.
Yeah. Wow. I had no idea that you did that.
Yep.
That's amazing. And I'm telling you, of course, you know it, but God will repay you multiple times over.
Yeah, he's already, he's already done that, in more ways than monetarily.
Right. It's not just about money because he's now you got 2 more daughters and you're full time and there's all kinds of other things. So you started with the Thai event. Now, what are some of the events? You don't have to go through all of them because you guys do a lot. Yeah. I mean, I watch your social media and I'm like, I'm exhausted watching this stuff. It's like every 2 weeks you got something going on. So what's some of the things and what would be the biggest, that's a win? What's some of the things you're doing though?
Some of the things we're doing. So this Thai event, we bought a whole bunch of brand new suits. So kids will get brand new suits.
When did that just happen, or it's going to?
It's going to January 25th.
January 25th.
Yep.
next Saturday.
Yep.
This will drop
Yep.
the week after, I think, the week after, or within a few weeks. So by the time this drops,
Yeah.
this will be over. So you're
Yeah.
giving all these boys new ties, new suits.
New suits. Yep.
And what age group are we talking?
So we got age 8 to 18.
8 to 18.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. So we partner with several organizations.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
several grants.
And I know you're a huge partner guy.
Yeah.
You're always looking to
Oh, my
partner,
goodness.
and that's part of the big success of the ministry is you partnering.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know,
So who's some of the people you partner with?
So we've partnered.
Throw a little
with,
shout out here.
We partner with Junior Achievement. We partner with the City of Toledo. We partner with Target. We partner with Lowe's. We partner with Appleman. Thank you for the suits. We partner with Toledo Community Foundation. So many grants we've written that they've just approved us. And
Wow. So
it's-
you've created something that started off with just a few guys trying to figure out how to put gas in a car
yeah,
to literally an entire community
yeah,
that is serving
yeah.
these boys. So 8 to 18, how many boys in a year would you guys serve? Because I know every event can be a different crowd,
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you looked at a year, how many boys are you guys serving?
We crunched some numbers just the other day. My wife made me crunch some numbers.
Of course she did.
But we had 409 participants.
400 in a year?
Yes. I'm getting tired.
400. Man.
I'm tired just thinking about
Hey, we'll be right back. We're going to take a nap. We're going to take a nap and come back and finish this podcast.
Yes.
409 boys were ministered to and served. And how many events is that in a year?
So we did 26 A-list events, and we did 5 community development events, and we did 2 events specifically for moms.
So 25, 6, 7. So that's 32,
Yeah.
30, over 30 events in a year.
Yeah, and a 52-week calendar.
Yeah, that's like one every 6 weeks or 5 weeks, one every 5 weeks.
That's a lot.
That's crazy. 409 boys. How many moms? This event, are you guys serving now?
Moms, so last year was more concentrated on boys.
Yeah.
We didn't really keep track of the moms.
Yeah.
This year we switched what we were doing, and now we're becoming boy focused, mom focused, and we were focused on both of them together.
I see what you're doing.
On them.
So you're creating kind of parallel streams
Yes.
of focus.
Yes.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we had a lot of programming with them together.
Yeah.
But now we're just going to separate them, so it's better to track. It's easier to track and know our numbers and all that stuff.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So tell me the biggest win in all of your events. So you do 30 plus events a year. 409 boys are being ministered to and served. What would be the biggest event that you look at that and say that one is that's kind of huge?
I would have to say one of the most memorable.
Yeah.
There are so many stories I can tell, but one of the most memorable ones is thanks to Dave Kaiser, Mosaic Ministries.
All right, there we go. Shout out to Dave Kaiser because these people help make this happen.
Yes.
You can't just snap your finger. Money just doesn't appear. Support doesn't appear.
Yes.
So Dave Kaiser and Mosaic Ministries, how did they help you?
So they had an event. They had a fundraiser where they brought in Jerome Bettis, who's a Hall of Fame football player.
Okay.
And they had Jim Tressel, who was the Hall of Fame coach for Ohio State. And they gave us a table. This table was probably $2,500 per table. So they gave us a table where our boys can come, and we actually got an opportunity to be in the room with Jerome Bettis and Jim Tressel for about 10 minutes all by ourselves.
Oh my goodness!
And
I bet those boys were out of their mind.
Oh my goodness! And the Jerome Bettis thing is what really, because we got a picture. I'm like, here they come, trying to hurry up, and Jerome Bettis comes out and goes right up to one of my boys, Miko, and he grabs him and he goes, "Let me fix your tie for you." And I'm like,
my goodness!
It's like the bus is fixing. Oh my! Where's my phone? You know?
Yeah.
So that kind of just intimate, opportunity for these kids to meet Coach Tressel, who's never lost to Michigan. Maybe once. Maybe I
you
think
didn't have to start that.
he may have
because
lost
half
once.
of our audience just shut off the whole podcast. I'm done with these people. Cultivated Life can just go figure it out somewhere else.
He may have lost once, but you
Yeah.
know, and their eyes were just like,
Yeah, of course.
oh my goodness.
These are the guys you only see on TV, and they're this big.
Yep.
You know,
and
they're
it's
this
for a
big.
second. You know, like, oh,
Yeah.
there he is. Oh, no, there he is. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, so just to
And he
have
walks in the
opportunity-
room and grabs your tie and just adjusts it.
adjusting it and having a time, just they're all talking, taking pictures with him, taking personal pictures with him, and the guy's like, hey, we gotta go, Jerome Bettis. He's like, they can wait, and I was like, they can
Wow.
wait.
Come on, somebody. They can wait.
But it's things like that
Yeah.
changes your perspective on life, and like, oh my goodness, having the opportunity to meet those people and how humble they were to take their time out and just, they can wait. We're working with kids right here.
Yeah.
And these kids are important. They're our future.
And what would be the message to those boys in that room when they heard that? What you said.
I think the message is we have a 3V system, is that every boy is visible, valuable, and we validate them. And
Wow.
I think at that moment they felt visible, they felt valuable, and I think they were validated that you are somebody. They can wait. Let me take my time with them. Let me sign these autographs. Let me take these pictures, because when's the next time I'm going to see these kids?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that really, and we had kids from 8 years old all the way up to 18 impacted by that one event.
Oh, no doubt.
You know?
No doubt. Now, you do one event that I think is really cool, and that's the
First date.
First date.
I knew he was going to say it.
First date. Every time I see you guys do that, I can't hardly help but cry.
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking about it, I could cry.
Yeah.
Tell us about the first date event.
Yeah, so the first date event is an event where young men come. We'll rent out a restaurant, preferably, and we'll have young men. We'll coach them on dating and courting, and they go on their very first date with their mom. So they'll have a list of questions that we provide for them. They have to shut off their phone. They have everything we go through, etiquette. The first year we did it, a kid picked up a filet, like a cheeseburger, and just bit it. And he's like, "What? It's cheeseburger, ain't it?" He's like, so this is your knife, this is your fork. Everybody with me, We had to do one of those. But just to impact that, it shows them, and we tell them, this is what you do every time you go on a date with a woman. You pull out her chair. You chivalry isn't contingent on whether you like her or not, whether she's beautiful to you or not. Chivalry is chivalry is based off of the type of character you have. It's you that is chivalrous, not because it's her.
And that's a word that's kind of gotten lost.
Oh yeah, it doesn't exist.
And I love the fact that you're using that word and sharing with these boys, this is how real men act.
Yes. Not
this is
what you
how
see on
real
TV.
men serve women, and real men love and honor women.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and the pictures and the opportunity for these kids.
I know it.
Just, and it's just like, I get to do this.
Yeah.
And behind it, it's a lot of data that we research, and these moments, everything that we do is research behind it of trying to create and not be the Debbie Downer and not say, oh, well, this amount of people are domestic violence and this and that.
Yep.
But we find that when a young man respects and honors and loves his mother, he's less likely to put himself in situations with a relationship or domestic abuse or rapist or anything like that, disrespecting women, because he loves his mother and he can see his mother in the woman that he's dating.
Ooh.
That's what we're trying to mirror and trying to get our young men to understand.
Man, that is powerful right there. Is when a young man knows how to love and honor his mother, it changes the way he sees every other woman.
Yep.
Wow, that is so awesome, Tremain. I love that. Give us one story, one big story of just life change. I know you got 1,000 of them.
For a kid or for me?
A kid, for one of the kids, or one of the moms maybe.
Let me think.
But I know you've told me a bunch of them. It's like you every week you get a new one. But just what's one good story that you could look and say, this is where we really made an impact?
Let me think. Because there's so many different stories. One of the stories that sticks out will have to be Dom. He's a kid, inner city kid. I don't know if you know, but we lost a kid this year.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was one of his friends. And we had an event at Men's Warehouse, and Dom had never, he's a hoodie type of kid, head down all the time. He's, we had him fitted for a suit. He had never had a suit on. He had never thought about putting on a suit. I'm sure he probably it probably didn't register really what we were doing, and I have a picture of him, and he's like looking down, and he's like, I don't even have a place to wear a suit too. Wow. And I was like, you can wear you don't have to have a place to wear a suit too. You can wear it. Like, this is the personality behind it. You can create a place to wear a suit. That day he got his very first suit. Shout out to Men's Warehouse. Max, we thank you. We love you. Yeah. He Men's Warehouse equipped him with blazer, shirt. I think they even got belts, pants, everything. And the confidence that we saw in him from that moment, from looking down to looking up and seeing himself in the mirror, it's unquantifiable. You can't, seeing his confidence go from, and then he's perking up, he's, and
he's a teenager.
He's a teenager.
So what impact is that going to have on him when he's 30, 40, 50, 60?
Oh my goodness. I can see his future change right in that instant. Yeah. Seeing that one of his friends had passed away, the gun violence. I'm sure gang activity is around somewhere and all that stuff. But I can see right then and there, he's like, I want to be different. Wow. I want to be different. I don't want to be what my community or what my environment is. I want to be different. And I'm just so happy that God allows us to see this like up front and personal. These are the stories that you read about on the news or something. Like, we get to see it and participate in this up close in person. And I called his mom and I said, you need to book a photo shoot right now. You need to do something right. I have a number of a photographer, or don't even get a photographer. Use your phone. But he needs to be able to look back at this. Yes. Brand new suit, all that, Wow. So, yeah, that was one of the pivotal moments.
Oh, Tremain, this has been so refreshing. Thank you for coming and joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is great. So, an easy way to find us is the Cultivated Life Ministries.com and all of our books there and information about me and Sharon and what we do. But I also want to share, how do we find you and what you're doing, and if people want to donate or volunteer, or where are you at?
Yeah, you can find us on social media at The Program Inc. You can find us on our website at programinc.org. There you can donate, you can message us, you can fill out a volunteer application, you can sign your kid up, you can fill out an A-list application. A lot of the things that we have, you can visit our Eventbrite. There's where majority of our events are hosted on Eventbrite platform, so they can just go there and see the whole list of our events.
So go to programinc.org and you can pretty much find everything from there. Probably social media links and everything's there. All right.
All that.
Man, thank you for being here. Let me pray over you before we go. Yes. Father, I thank you for Tremain, and I thank you for Savannah and their heart for our community. I thank you, Lord, for his testimony, the amazing story that he shared with us today, and the impact that he's having on the community right here in Northwest Ohio and in Toledo in particular. Lord, I pray blessings over him and the Program Inc. and all the boys and all the moms and all the good work they're doing in Jesus' name. Yes. Amen. Amen. Thanks for being here. Hey, guys, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again real soon right here.